Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this year's first edition of Bob Shaween. Before we begin today's review, I have a little question for you. What kind of story comes to mind when I say the title, Vampire Dog? I imagine a story where a young boy gets a new dog, and coincidentally, dead bodies drained of their blood begin mysteriously showing up in his bedroom. His parents think he's the one committing the murders, while he tries to convince them that it was the dog who did it. Of course, it's the perfect cover for our canine antagonist. After all, who's ever heard of a vampire dog? It sounds so ridiculous that it can't
possibly be true.
Sadly, it is true, and it is nowhere near as interesting as that. Our movie begins by mocking us as we see that it was made by Joker Films. If this movie doesn't involve a clown who kills people with smiles, I will be very disappointed. No, calm down, it's not your time yet. Oh, you're no fun. We open on a dark and spooky night in Transylvania, which hasn't been called Transylvania since World War I, where someone leaves out a bowl of jelly, which gets quickly devoured by the titular vampire dog. Yes, the vampire dog does not drink blood, it lives on red jelly. So yeah, this cute little Jack Russell Terrier is the vampire dog. They couldn't even spring for a Siberian Husky and play up the vampires turning into werewolves thing. And before my American audience corrects me on my use of the word jelly instead of jello, this is a Canadian film that we're watching here. They're going to say jelly a lot in this movie, so I'm just going to call it Jelly 2 for simplicity's sake. We then see the vampire dog return to his master as he is about to die of old age. And to be fair, these old photos outlining their history together are pretty creepy. You can clearly see where there's supposed to be a dog, except that it's just not there. Unfortunately, this will be the only good thing I have to say about this movie. Later in Lugosi County, get it?! We meet our main character Ace and his mother as they move into their new house. She's the new music teacher for Lugosi Public School. You see? Because it's named after the guy who played Count Dracula! You get it, right? And if she does a good enough job, that will somehow save the school from falling into bankruptcy. Ace is meant to be our tragic loner character who has a hard time fitting in. Yeah, sorry movie, but you can't tell me that a pretty kid like this who plays the drums and is named Ace is going to have trouble making friends. Look, he's already got a cute little red-haired girl stalking him. Oh yes, that's right. Girls can't be stalkers. She's only an admirer. On his first day of class, he has a less than friendly reception.
Check out the new guy.
Yeah, he came in late. Seems pretty cool.
I assume you're being sarcastic? His mom is the teacher.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It just means he's a total dork.
So the kid whose parent is the teacher is automatically a dork, huh? You want to say that to my face, Missy? I've taken bigger than you! But in spite of his drumming prowess, it would appear that Ace has a problem with playing in front of an audience. After a bit of social commentary and moving him down to triangle, sheesh, why not just cut off his balls and post it on YouTube? Ace's mom announces that there will be a battle of the bands to help save the school, and she does nothing to include Ace in one of the groups. Nice work there, mom/teacher. Once he gets home, Ace gets word that his grandfather is passing his beloved dog down to him.
He's sending me an old dog? What am I supposed to do with an old dog?
Teach him new tricks.
We then meet the villains of the movie, who I'm simply going to call not Jennifer Tilly and not Fat Guy. They're trying to make an anti-aging cream, but they can't quite get the formula right.
Well. Check this out.
He had long fangs and glowing eyes, and he lunged at me. When I turned around, there was...
This dog. Jelly was in the bowl. Cherry jelly.
So, the legends are true. Oh, I need that dog. I need the DNA of a vampire dog to perfect my anti-aging formula.
No! No, no, no! No, no, no! No, 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 no! 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 Are you telling me that in this world, the existence of vampire dogs is common knowledge? If there's a dog that eats jelly, that automatically means it's a vampire dog!
Oh no! My dog is a vampire! Save me, Abraham Lincoln!
We're gonna see later that nobody else thinks the dog is a vampire, so how the hell did these intellectual dead-ends figure it out? The vampire dog, named Fang, finally arrives at Ace's house, and after what could be a creepy scene of the dog just staring at him while he sleeps... We then see not Jennifer Tilly and not Fat Guy track the dog to his new home. How did they do it? Never explained. The not scariness continues as they try to break into his house, and look at this.
That's him. We got him. Let's get out of here.
I'm so sorry.
Idiot.
Yeah, they just cut to the next scene without following through with the most obvious jump scare imaginable. How hard is that to do? Oh, by the way, apparently not Jennifer Tilly is planning to bulldoze the school to make way for her own youth and beauty center. Thanks for the villain of convenience movie. After a nice full day of Ace being humiliated thanks to his mom not asserting her authority in any way whatsoever, he comes back home and makes a shocking discovery.
Do you want some water? Do you want some food? Is that what you need? What do you need?
Jelly?
What?
Do you have any red jelly?
What did you just say?
Strawberry jelly would be fine. Cherry, if you have cherry. Really any red jelly. Pomegranate. That's not easy to locate in these parts. Pomegranate jelly. Oh, great.
Yeah. The dog talks. And he's voiced by Norm Macdonald. Why is the dog voiced by Norm Macdonald? I mean, never mind how they didn't even try to give the dog the typical Transylvanian accent, but Norm Macdonald? The only way they can make this dog any more bland would be if they cast a piece of paper to play him. And why is it that every movie I review which has a talking dog in it has some cast member from Saturday Night Live? First it was John Lovitz, then Chevy Chase, and now Norm Macdonald? What's going on here? And in case you're wondering why the dog can only eat red jelly, don't worry, the disappointing answer to that question will come soon enough.
Whoa, I just had the weirdest dream.
Oh, was it the one where everyone notices that you don't have pants on? I hate that one.
You don't wear pants!
How can you talk?
I exhale, move my mouth, and hey, presto, words come out.
There's a little bit more to it than that.
So, I'm your caretaker?
No, Justin Bieber is my caretaker.
I know that because your grandpa was a big Bieber fan. He was into some weird stuff before he died. He was like, baby, 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 oh. You're tearing me apart, vampire dog. Fang decides to help Ace to become a better drummer by making him look the part. Yeah, because he really looks like he knows anything about fashion. And they have a little changing montage that I think can only be happening because he must have bit Ace while he was sleeping. Is he a vampire too? How else could he be moving this fast? And what look do they finally settle on? A button-up white shirt and a workman's cap, making him look like Tiny Tim. I'm wearing a top hat, a cape, and a dickie, and even I look more like a rock star than this kid. Fang demands that Ace smuggle him into school, which sounds like your typical setup for some kind of elaborate plan that Fang has in mind. But no, several weeks go by, and what has he been doing all this time?
Nothing.
By the way, Ace's little stalker friend Skyler has been trying to make a name for herself among the popular mean girls, but shock of all shocks, she's actually a nerd! Yeah, the awkward-looking girl wearing glasses and gingham is a nerd. What are the chances?
Today we're doing lab work. Everyone partner up.
Wow. When you're making Mr. Crow from Ghost Trap look like a more competent science teacher, you are really in trouble.
Stay together, kids. I wish I was there.
After several weeks of somehow staying below the radar, Fang finally snaps and busts out of Ace's locker to look for some jelly.
It's jelly time. Ah, jelly.
I have 3 questions about this scene. 1, why? 2, how? 3, why? I mean, could they seriously not just have Fang sit patiently in the bushes nearby, wait for some student to pass in with some jelly, then hypnotize them into giving the jelly to him? He's been hiding from humanity for the last 500 years, but now he's pulling this kind of crap? How is he not burned at the stake centuries ago? Skyler follows Ace home and discovers his little secret.
So, how did you get to be a vampire dog?
2 words. Bad luck. About 500 years ago, one of Ace's ancestors led a rebellion against a terrible king named Vlad the Impaler. This guy Vlad was a vampire. Ace's great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. He led an army against Vlad. Vlad tried to bite your ancestor, so I jumped in.
You jumped in?
What could I do? The guy was my owner. Long story short, I got bit. But your ancestor took out Vlad. He freed Transylvania from tyranny, and he destroyed the last vampire on Earth. He vowed that from that moment on, his descendants would take care of me.
So, your caretaker leads a rebellion to kill Vlad the Impaler, who, by the way, is seen by the Romanian people as a national hero, and he doesn't stamp out the last little bit of vampirism by killing you? If people are this dedicated to stamp out some kind of a supernatural evil, I don't think your being a cute widow puppy dog is gonna be enough to save you. Salem witch trials, anybody?
That's epic. You're a hero.
Nah, kid, I'm a monster.
No. Count Dracula is a monster. Lestat is a monster. Edward frickin' Cullen is a monster. You're not even a cliché! So they go outside on a perfectly sunny day in which Fang is perfectly fine, and Skyler deduces why he eats jelly instead of blood.
Before jelly was invented, what did you eat?
You know, deer antlers, horse hooves.
Of course! Gelatin!
What?
Gelatin is a processed form of collagen.
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
Jelly contains gelatin. The natural form of gelatin in animals is collagen. So Fang needs collagen in the same way that a vampire needs hemoglobin. Instead of blood, Fang needs collagen.
Wow, you're really smart.
Wow. The hoops that you had to go through to make sure that the dog was as non-threatening as possible are just mind-blowing. But, okay. For the sake of argument, let's go ahead and say that the dog did find a way to get around his vampirism without killing anybody. Okay, fine. I have one question. Why does he eat only red jelly? They go back to school with a little doggy jumpsuit for Fang. Couldn't they get him a little black cloak or something? And what's their next order of business?
Don't worry about me. You worry about asking that girl out on a date.
Why is it that every time there's a talking dog, all that they want to do is get their human laid?
I've got super smell, kid, and you smell like a guy who wants to ask that girl out.
The boy's pheromone level suggests he wants to mate with the female.
Skyler is doing something science-y with a sample of Fang's drool, but her popular girlfriends will have none of that.
I was just
Doing some extra lab work.
OMG. We got the morning off from class to get ready for Battle of the Bands, and you're nerding out in the science room. What is wrong with you? Do you want to go back to eating your lunch alone in the library? I took a chance on you, Sky. 2 years ago, you were a major dork. But I saw something in you and let you hang out with us. It's okay. Ditching us like that was a real slap in the face.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
What do you want?
I've come to talk to Skyler.
Her name is Sky, and you'd know that if you weren't such a dweeb.
The only dweebs I see here are you two. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna talk to Skyler.
We're her friends. Whatever you want to say to her, you can say in front of us.
Okay, fine. Skyler, would you like to go out with me sometime?
The answer is no.
I wasn't talking to you. Skyler?
Well?
I don't think so, Ace.
Bye. All right, Sky. I better see you in the auditorium in 10.
And after this heavy, emotional scene that could be typical of any budding young middle school romance, what's the next thing we see?
Don't you think we could take a day off?
A villain never rests.
Thanks for maintaining the emotional weight, movie. They've gathered all the red jelly in town to set a trap for Fang, but that quickly gets nipped in the bud by this janitor who decides to take Fang to the dog pound.
Ace, what is Fang doing here?
Why aren't you trying to get him back? For once in your life, do something! You failed as a mother, you failed as a teacher, and now you fail as a pet owner! You are useless! Fang busts out of his cage after he gets to the pound, and I can only assume that we don't see any of the shelter workers try to catch him because he murdered them horribly off screen. I know he didn't really do that, but can't you let me pretend? While you're wondering why Fang let himself get captured in the first place in spite of his ability to easily hypnotize people, he calls up Ace and Skyler to come get him. They narrowly escape the bumbling of our villains and get to the Battle of the Bands. It would appear that there are some other neighboring schools joining the competition as well. What are they called?
Please welcome the Lincoln Middle School Jazz Ensemble. Now it's Kennedy Middle School's turn.
Oh yeah, Canadian school districts always name their schools after American presidents. And Hungarian movie stars. The bad guys follow the kids to the school, but they're quickly taken down by campus security.
Oh, I just want this nightmare to be over.
Wow. I can't believe it, but suddenly I identify with you. Now it's time for the Lugosi school band to show off what they got, but oh no! Their drummer has been caught cheating, and it looks like they'll have to be disqualified. If only there was someone who could step in and save the day!
Well, this is your chance, kid. This is your time to show everyone you got talent. I can't help you from here. This you have to do alone. But Ace, you're a talented musician. Now get out there and share your talent and believe in yourself. I do.
Yes. Ace effortlessly ends up saving the competition just because a little dog told him that he believes in him. How wonderfully contrived. By the way, remember that science-y thing that Skyler was doing with Fang's spit from earlier? She somehow used it to find a cure for Fang's allergic reaction to sunlight. And no, she doesn't use this miracle of science to cure people afflicted with sun allergies. What really matters is curing this dog of his affliction who could apparently always run around in the sun without any problems. Hooray! So that was Vampire Dog, and honestly, it is amazing. Seriously, I cannot believe the sheer amount of effort that went into this movie to make it as genuinely unfrightening as possible. The dog's not scary, the villains aren't scary, the story isn't scary, the scenery isn't scary, the music isn't scary. A concept like this has so much potential to be something terrifying, but they went that extra mile and made it bland, forgettable, and a complete waste of time, money, and resources. That is impressive. But in all seriousness, if you want a vampire story that has a little bit more bite to it, be sure to tune in next week when we'll check out a movie that does the genre a little more justice.
subscribe, like, follow.